Namaskar, good evening. Welcome to yet another episode of India Educates Presents Education Adda with Pratik. We are again present to share one very exciting episode with you. And today we are going to discuss how to balance career and passion. And I would like to take this opportunity, like all the episodes, to thank all of you for all your encouragements and support. The way our number of subscribers are increasing organically, very steadily. I can't thank you enough. So keep spreading the good works, the good words, and encourage us. Let others know about what we are doing at this channel. We are educating and empowering. So, without wasting much of our time, let us introduce our guest. Our special guest of today's episode, Dr. Maahirii Bose, wears many hats and with equal elan. She is an academician, musician, and a filmmaker too. PhD in Applied Psychology from the University of Calcutta and a first-class first gold medalist of post-graduation from the same university. Maahirii has been into teaching from 2010. She is a regular faculty of psychology in the National Institute for Locomotor Disabilities, popularly known as NILD, and has been guest faculty in many leading educational institutions. Maahirii is loved for her voice and innovative renditions and collaborations across the music platforms of the country with lots of regular listeners. Hailing from a family of Hindustani classical musicians for the past 4 generations, it is quite natural that music flows in Maahiri's blood. She has gained acclaim as a versatile vocalist in the music industry of India and Bangladesh. She sings her father and Guru Acharya Jayanto Bose's compositions, original compositions of many musicians, Nazrul Gitis, and her own compositions. Maahirii started out with her passion for photography and finally took up filmmaking in 2013. She started with short films and then moved on to music videos, musical shorts, and finally feature films. Her first short film, Doya Kore, was an official selection in the Kolkata International Children's Film Festival. Welcome.
Thank you
Welcome
so
to
much.
Education Adda with Pratik.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, all set for the Education Adda?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Okay. So, Maahirii, our first section is known as Topic Pe Charcha. So, we will straightway get to the question, and please tell us, is it really possible to balance career and passion?
It is. Uh, Definitely, it is possible. It depends on how important each is to you. So, career is something that helps you earn your bread, and passion, I believe, is something that earns the nutrition for your head. So, one side your bread and the other side your head. So, you need to balance it to run a proper, healthy life. Because not only physical health, mental health is also important. And to maintain the mental health in these competitive times, it is very much essential that you actually uh, care a lot about your passion, things which keep you happy. Because many of us aren't so lucky that we can choose our areas where we have where our passion lies. We aren't so lucky always to choose them as our careers.
Mhm.
So just to keep us going, just to keep that mm, keep ourselves rejuvenated, we do need to take care of our passion. And the more important you feel it to be, you will be able to balance it. That's my belief.
All right.
Am
So
I audible, by the way, or is it too
you are
low?
like, you started slightly faint, but now
Okay,
it's absolutely fine. Now it's
okay, fine.
absolutely fine.
Okay,
All right.
good.
So, you know, there are a lot of people, they are like very, very kind of clueless about this balancing act between career and passion. Now, you think that, it's very, very important to maintain a balance, or is it that, the best way to convert your passion into career, so then your stress becomes lesser?
Uh, if I take my case into view, then I'd say that music was already a favorite with me when I started off with my career. But according to what my father had said, my father has been like a guiding light to me. So he had said that if you're really passionate about something, don't put it to earning your bread, because it may mean that you would have to compromise, which you would not like. So I guess he was true, like he was very right at that point of time, because uh, since music is my passion, I do music which I love. I don't have to think that if I don't do this, then I'll be losing work, and if I lose work, what about my earning? So I don't have to take that headache. So I have my teaching profession for that. So that is why that is one side to it. The other side to it is, if you really are confident that you can carry on with whatever you are doing, I mean, related to your passion, if you think that whatever you are doing, that will earn you the bread, and you do not need to compromise, just that what you are doing, that is enough for earning your bread, then why not? Then you definitely can take up your passion as a profession. It depends on how you see your passion and how would you like others to see your passion. So in my case, I had a lot of restrictions in music. Restrictions because of my family, restrictions because of me. So that is why I could not choose it to be my prior profession. Definitely now I am a professionally, I am into music, but I'm not professionally dependent on music. I would put it that way.
Right. uh, there are a lot of people, like, they are very much fond of multiple professions. So what would you suggest them, that, should they pursue multiple professions?
Absolutely depends on their comfort. If they are able to balance it, then why not? Because there is a very clear advantage with people handling multiple profession. That is what an advantage what I feel in my case also. That is, the moment you feel saturated with one thing, you have other things to switch on to.
Hmm.
So when suppose when I'm teaching, I love psychology. I've never thought, like the other day I was talking to somebody in another interview. I was saying that I really love psychology from the day one. Okay, I was really into the subject, and uh, till date I feel it's my love, because even on the days when I had the pressure of completing my syllabus for the examinations, I had the pressure to apply for the competitive exams and everything. Never ever did I think that I should have taken literature. I shouldn't have taken psychology. So much to learn and so much to cope up with. Never once did this thought come into my mind. So I always thought that whatever it be, this is the subject that I was made for, and beat anything, I would have taken this subject up. So that is why it was my love. But sometimes it happens that you get exhausted. Teaching sometimes can get exhaustive, because you have to deliver so 2 hours and 3 hours of lecture. After that, you really need a break. So when I need a break, Even suppose I'm having to run examinations, so for that purpose I'm having to check the answer scripts, I'm having to check the oral assignments, the internal assignments and whatnot. So it does get very exhaustive sometimes. I get exhausted, but then I know that I have, after I finish this job, I have a song which I'll do the arrangement of. I'll have this. I'll have to render this song. I'll do this thing. It's close to my heart. So I have something to switch on to. Okay, so that is a clear advantage with people handling more than one streams, because you'll never get bored. You have something else to switch on to once you get bored with one stream. Like you always have something to shift to. So that has been a clear advantage in my case. Sometimes even music, like music. After a long time, I may feel that I need a break. So when we have concerts, we have constantly we are rehearsing and rehearsing. So it's a lot of music. So at that point of time, I may feel that I need a break from music. I don't want to listen to any music now. So at that point of time, I have filmmaking to shift onto. Just take my camera, just take a few shots. That rejuvenates me. So I have a lot of things to switch onto. So I never feel bored. I'm never bored with life. I have so many things to cater to. So that's a clear advantage.
I must tell you that, when we thought about this subject,
Hmm.
the first thing that came into my mind is that, I must get Maahirii on our show.
What
So
an honor. Thank you so much.
now, our pleasure. So now, you know, are there societal pressures on uh, individuals that, don't chase so many uh, vocations together? Uh, you will end up mastering nothing. So it could be very
There is a lot of pressure. Yes, there is a
yes.
lot of pressure. For me, hailing from a background of classical musicians and legendary musicians, I must say, musicians who are legends. So
Yeah.
even if I did not have multiple discipline to follow, even then it would have been a societal pressure, because every time I would perform, I would be compared with the yardstick of my father's performance, which is absolutely heretic, because he's my guru and I believe my father is a genius, and geniuses do not follow lineage. So
Mhm.
the offspring of a genius cannot be another genius, then another genius in the line. It cannot happen like that. So you better
Mhm.
accept it. I have accepted that. So he's a rare gem in the
Mhm.
field of music. So
Mhm.
not only in music but a lot of cultural areas. So but it's very difficult being the daughter of a legend, that every time you are performing you are being compared. You are completely pressurized with a lot of expectations that you have to
Mhm.
meet. So for my, like in my case, for me it was like, even if I did not select multiple lines, multiple disciplines, it would have still been difficult. On top of it, now I have too many lines, too many disciplines to follow,
Mhm.
and they go parallel to each other. They are
Mhm.
quite different from each other, because although there are interdependencies, yes,
Mhm.
but majorly teaching, psychology, music and filmmaking, they are parallel lines. Okay, at a point of time you will find that three of them do not meet.
Mhm.
So I've heard comments like trying to be jack of all trades, not being master of any. I do not take it to heart, because as long as I'm happy, as long as I'm content, I think that
Uh-huh.
matters the most, because I have never compared myself with anybody else. I've always compared myself with myself. So what I target is being better than what I was yesterday. So, and I
Mhm.
think that matters. So every individual, that's what psychology says also, that every individual in this world is a
Mhm.
unique individual. So whatever I am unique from you. Even the
Mhm.
identical twins are unique from each other.
Mhm.
So I don't mind, like, as far as I feel that I am developing, as far as I think that I am better than what I was yesterday. I'm
Hmm.
at peace with myself. So I'm not a person who would get affected by what people say. I
Lovely.
don't know if it
So,
sounds too boastful, but I really don't.
no, I mean,
I mean,
see, you have actually raised one interesting point, which I was about to ask you later in the show. That was there any kind of pressure being a daughter or child of a genius? So, has there been
a lot of
comparison?
pressure.
You have
Lots of pressure.
raised that point. So, how do you handle? Because I'm sure still you need to handle this. It's not
Yeah,
a thing of
I,
the past.
I know that I would have, like, I would need to handle it for the rest of my life. So I'm ready for it. The best way of handling it is just letting it go.
Okay, fine. So that's a very good answer. Now, uh, uh, we are now joined by a lot of viewers, and some
Okay.
of them started commenting as well. So,
Okay.
Uma Doctor says good evening.
Good
Then
evening.
Jhuma Mujumdar says good evening.
Good
So,
evening.
viewers who have joined later, I request all of you if you can share the link of this channel that many others can know about this program. So I have given the link in the comment section, so you can get the YouTube link there. Uh, uh, Mahiri, there is, I guess, a faint feedback sound. Uh, can you do
From my
something about?
end,
Yes, yes.
like,
Um,
was it there from the beginning, or is it something that's
Yes, yes,
coming
yes,
now?
yes, yes, yes. Because you have been talking, so I did not stop you there.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do because
Two
I'm on
devices.
a mouthpiece. Yeah, but
All
the
right.
other device is off, I guess.
Okay.
So
No problem.
it's
Yeah. Okay. So yes. So you you wear too many hats. Now, how do you juggle it? Like, what is your typical day?
uh it's not a very conscious process, I must say. Like, few things which I need to do regularly, that is, for music I need to practice regularly, so I really need to carve out time for it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it may be, I need to carve out some time for my music practice.
Mm-hmm.
Psychology, since I teach, so about, and I teach as a guest faculty, because I deal with multi disciplines. So that is why I had to take up only guest lectureship, because any full-time lectureship would actually hinder me from doing anything else, because it's not only teaching. In full-time lectureship there are too many responsibilities, so I
Mm-hmm.
would not have been able to do anything else if it was a full-time job. So I refrained myself from doing a full-time job, and I decided that I would be doing guest lectureship only, because I love teaching. And
Mm-hmm.
just staying in touch with psychology, I officially do not do counseling, because it requires a lot of time. You need to give sessions, regular sessions, and it would be possible for me because of the other assignments that I have of music and filmmaking. So
Mm-hmm.
that is why the only way to remain attached to psychology, and also that I love teaching, as I've already said, so
Mm-hmm.
it was a very obvious career choice. So
Mm-hmm.
about 4 days a week I need to teach, and about 2 to 3 hours a day I need to devote to teaching. And
Mm-hmm.
since last year, because of the lockdown, so it's an online process.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not all online, then on a regular day I would have to travel to NILD and
Mm-hmm.
then be back. So apart from the traveling time, it would be about 2 to 3 hours of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then for filmmaking, it depends on the assignments that I take up.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to carve out some time. So basically 3 hours for my practice,
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 hours for teaching, 6 hours, and you actually 24 hours. You have a lot of time. If you feel that you want to use it, you actually have a lot of time. I guess
Well,
you can
that's a huge
imagine.
statement, I must tell you, Mahiri, because you just now said that 24 hours is actually a lot of time,
It
which a
is
lot of
actually a lot
people
of time.
think the other way around, right? So
I know I've heard people say that, but I'm sorry, I beg to disagree because you actually have a lot of time. If you really plan out your activities, you actually have a lot of time to do a lot of things, believe me or not.
okay, I will try to touch upon the comments that I get to see. Piyash Tarovdar says, proud of you as always. It's a treat listening to her explanation.
Thank
Okay,
you so much, Piyashta.
all right. Now you have so many avatars. So we started as your started with your avatar as academician. Uh, so continue with that avatar. Uh, Mahiri, can you suggest, because a lot of our viewers are students and parents watch our channel for a lot of advices on career, on various future options. So, since your field of academics has been always psychology, so what are the career options there?
There, right now, there are actually plenty of career options, but even like about 8 or 10 years back, there weren't many, because mental health as as a separate stream is still quite new. But still, there are options. Like an obvious option is going into lectureship, like because many colleges and schools are opening up with the subject. So apart from teaching, there would be like counseling, and you have a lot of branches. Like you can go into sports, because sports psychology is a separate branch. You can get into forensic sciences, because even there you have a separate section for psychology, forensic investigations. Then you can get onto like for chambers, like we get attached to hospitals. There, I would like to clear a doubt, which is a very what do I say, a very common doubt amongst people: the difference between psychologists and psychiatrists. So basically, psychiatrists, they need to have an MD degree so that they can suggest medicines, and psychologists, they suggest therapy. So, when you are giving therapy, you are a psychologist, and you are not prescribing any medicines. For medicine prescription, you need a psychiatrist. Okay. So, a very obvious career choice is either you get into medicine and you can get attached to a hospital. Even if you're not getting into medicine, you can major in psychology. You can get into clinical psychology, do your majors there, get your MPhil done, and after MPhil, you can get attached to any hospital or nursing home as the therapist there. So then there are psychoanalysts also. You can have your own chamber. And right now, people, more and more people are getting aware of the importance of mental health, and the stigma which used to be there. It's still there, but it's much lesser than what
Mhm,
it used to be. So,
mhm,
because of that, more and more people are getting aware of the fact that you need to keep your mental health fine. And for that, you actually see a lot of people visiting psychologists for issues which have been disturbing them.
mhm. All
So,
right.
you
So
actually have a lot of options, yes.
yes, so there are
There is one
plenty of
very
options.
interesting, yeah, yeah. There's the one area. It's in industries also. You have in organizational behavior, people who
Yeah,
master in organizational behavior. They are appointed in industries also for employees' mental health. And
right.
one very interesting area. It's not quite popular in India now. As of now, it's not very popular, but outside, yes, people study animal behavior outside, and actually they help pets, because outside India, there are places in the first world countries where they actually take the issue of the mental health of pets also very seriously. So you
Mhm,
can also study animal behavior. Then there's also experimental psychology. You do researches, you come up with theories, and there are lots and lots of options actually. Nowadays,
Oh,
more and more options coming up.
all right. So, Shumana Tarafdar says, I'm loving it. So,
Thank you
there is a
so
plus sign.
much.
Venkat Raju says that he has just started watching it. Okay, the session is on how to balance career and passion. And there are obviously, when Maahiri is with us, Dr. Maahirii Bose is with us. Obviously, we are going to talk about music, about filmmaking, uh, needless to say. Now, there are a lot of viewers with us, and many of them uh, often ask that, what does India Educates do? So we have a small AV for them before we start discussing about, your other avatar. So we will now do that. Uh,
Okay.
play that small AV. একটি ভুল ক্যারিয়ারের সিদ্ধান্তের জন্য কিন্তু চরম মূল্য চুকাতে হতে পারে। স্ট্রিম বা বিভাগ নির্বাচন, সাবজেক্টস পছন্দ, উচ্চশিক্ষার বা ক্যারিয়ার সম্বন্ধীয় সিদ্ধান্ত নেবার আগে তাই প্রতিটি শিক্ষার্থীরই উচিত একজন পেশাদার কাউন্সিলরের পরামর্শ নেওয়া। ছাত্রছাত্রীদের সঠিক তথ্য সমৃদ্ধ সিদ্ধান্ত নিতে সাহায্য করতে ইন্ডিয়া এডুকেটসে আছেন বহু সার্টিফাইড ক্যারিয়ার কাউন্সিলর এবং সাথে আছে প্রয়োজনীয় সাইকোমেট্রিক অ্যাসেসমেন্ট টুলস। এই সুযোগের সদ্ব্যবহার করুন। আমরা ভারত এবং অন্যান্য বহু দেশের বিভিন্ন ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্কুলস এবং বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে ভর্তির প্রক্রিয়াতেও সহায়তা করি। অমনোযোগী শিক্ষার্থীদের কাউন্সেলিংয়েরও সুব্যবস্থা আছে। অনলাইন কাউন্সেলিংয়ের জন্য আমাদের যোগাযোগের তথ্য দেখে আজই অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট নিন। Okay, so now let's start with your next avatar as musician, and what a better way to start is with some music from Dr. Maahirii Bose.
Okay. I'll just sing a few lines from a ghazal that I had recorded with my father, my guru, Acharya Jayanti Bose.
Lovely,
Uh,
lovely.
okay. हमें हर तरह माह पारों ने लूटा, हमें हर तरह माह पारों ने लूटा, निगाहों ने मारा, इशारों ने लूटा, तेरी गम की दुनिया भी कितनी हंसी है, तेरी गम की दुनिया भी कितनी हंसी है, जहाँ रात आई सितारों ने लूटा, हमें हर तरह माह पारों ने लूटा, हमें हर तरह. So I guess I'll keep it at that.
Wow, that's wonderful. Excellent.
It's a favorite one. Thank you so much. I really love that song because because there's one emotional reason to it, because that was the first single that I had recorded with my father. It's there online, and you can check out my YouTube channel. It's there.
Uh-huh.
And secondly, I really like the ghazal, the tune, the words. I really like that.
Mr. Venkat Raju, Venkat, no, it's very much in English. I don't know whether you can hear or not.
I think
very much.
he saw the AV, and maybe because of that he has the confusion because of the
Okay,
AV.
all right. Yes. The AV was in Bengali. Yes, the discussion is very much in English. We will play the English AV also later. Now, Pias Tarafdar says, Subhanallah. Shumona Tarafdar says, beautiful song and soulful voice. Yes, she has a soulful voice. Now,
Thank you
uh,
so much.
she has a soulful voice, and she is going to come live on a show, online show, very soon that I'm aware of. Would you like to say something about your online concert that's going to come up?
Yeah, it's an online concert on 24th of September from 8 p.m. So you can visit my profile, my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, Maahirii Bose, and you can get the tickets there. So if you really wish, you can join me. There will be lovely to have you over, and you can send me your requests. I majorly sing my father's song. I sing the originals that I've recorded with other fresh new composers, and I also sing Nazrul Giti. So I'll try to keep your requests. If you are interested, please do join in. It's on 24th September at 8 p.m.
Okay, wonderful. So we are looking forward to that show.
Thank
Mahiri,
you.
tell me, tell us, what's the future of live concert? Considering the pandemic, considering the new normal, what is the future of it?
It's difficult because the present that it is, no one could have foreseen it as a future, because none of us could actually think that a situation like this could arise where everything would be online. So it's difficult to predict certain things now after the pandemic. I feel that the other day I had posted it in my Facebook profile that I'd never realized that life is so uncertain had it not been for the pandemic. So we have landed on a completely different dimension of uncertainties. Like everything seems so uncertain. Uh, on a serious note, I think with this trend on about of online concerts, I think online concerts are going to continue because checking the logistics, you can see that it saves a lot of labor. It saves you the hassle of booking an auditorium. It saves you the hassle of uh, making arrangements for the artists to come into the auditorium, like the passage fares and everything. So online makes it way more global, and at a very low cost, basically.
Mhm,
So because it's a bit cost friendly, so I
mhm,
guess that's going to stay even when the pandemic is over. Fingers
mhm.
crossed. I just wish it gets over very soon.
Yeah.
Live shows will be there definitely, but
Mhm,
I think online shows are going to continue. So I think they're going to be there. But as an artist, I feel it's so different performing for live audience, because you can feel the warmth. You can see the smiles on the faces. You can see the eyes glittering. So that kind of experience is missing in online shows, because you don't get to see it, you don't get to feel it. You just perform, yes, but it's so different when you're performing for a live audience. It's so different. I just wish we still have offline events, that is live events. I just wish we have more of them when the pandemic gets over. I think the online is going to continue, but offline should also get back, because otherwise it's not very fulfilling as an artist. You feel a bit mechanical just performing in front of the camera. That's what you do in television shows. You perform in front of the camera, but that's in no way comes parallel to the pleasure of performing in front of a very vibrant audience, like everybody trying to communicate to you, everyone trying to relate to you. That's a completely different that's just the human touch added to your performance. So I
So,
definitely
are there
miss
enough
that.
sponsors for online concerts? Because
Sorry,
I
I didn't
guess,
get you. Your voice broke in between. Could you please come again?
are there enough sponsors for online
Sp-
concerts?
uh it depends on the artist, actually.
Mhm,
It's a very rude thing to say, maybe, but
mhm,
I would like to say it honestly. It depends a lot on the artist,
mhm,
because I'll not be taking names. If the artist is
mhm,
very popular, there's more chance of getting sponsors, just like in live shows also, because
mhm,
actually the scope of selling your tickets is much more in online concerts than in offline concerts, because a person who's in states still
Hmm.
has an opportunity to see your concert in Kolkata. So
Right.
you have the entire world as your potential customer. But
Correct.
when you're doing live shows, you just have the audience limited to that region. So the ticket selling part, it's actually way more global. So sponsors do come in, but yes, it definitely depends upon the artist, the USP of the artist.
Yes. I mean, I can get your point. All right. So now, my next question would again come back to career, because uh, that's what we majorly talk about. Now, how safe and stable are the career options in music and performing arts?
uh Music, basically it is a part of the self-employed jobs. So it's very uncertain. You do not have a job security. That's something
Hmm.
that's missing in music.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
true. But again, with the advent of reality shows, more and more people are getting involved into music, like the Bollywood songs. Like it's basically something that has a lot of mass pull to it.
Hmm.
I'm specifically talking about Bollywood songs, Bollywood music.
Hmm.
So that fetches you concerts. It definitely does, and there are so many people who are earning a decent amount of money with Bollywood music.
Hmm.
But when we are talking about original music,
Hmm.
it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult carving a niche for yourself. There are so many cover artists, but if you're not doing covers, you are trying to sell your own songs, you're trying to sell originals. It's so more difficult, because people, it is a common psyche of the population. They would like to buy something which they know.
Hmm.
They would want to buy something which they are aware of, something that they know that how it sounds. That not
Hmm.
only goes with music but everything else. We are actually very scared of ambiguity, things which we do
Hmm.
not know. Very less people are open to experiences. I'm sorry to say, very less people are adventurous or open to experiences, trying something new. Let's try this artist. Let's visit this new restaurant. Let's visit this new shopping mall. Let's visit this new performer. There are very less
Hmm.
people who are going to do that. Now,
Hmm.
what to 10 or 20 people that you have in your performance of your original songs, now you have to rely on those 10 people to go out and say that actually this is good stuff, you can try, give it a try. It spreads with the word of mouth. So if you're trying to do something original, it's a new level of difficulty that's waiting for you. But if you are
Hmm.
doing covers and things which are already popular, you would definitely have some. You would be assured to have some audience, because a lot of people are like they are earning their bread with Bollywood music. Definitely are.
So, would you suggest that, for the starter, it's good to have another vocation and try luck here, and when
Pardon my
everything.
words. Pardon my words, Pratik. I feel we have too many singers and too many
Hmm.
dancers. And pardon my words, please, my words be forgiven, but actually I'm speaking what I genuinely feel, because for the past 2 years, uh, there's like thousands of people coming online with their performances, and most of them, I'm sorry to say, most of them are not trained. And I don't know how this idea is taking round that you just need to be talented to carry out a profession. I'm sorry to say, no. You
Hmm.
cannot just have a flair of it, and you just cannot depend on that flair and go out and start performing. It's not going to be like it's not going to earn you a stable name. It's not going to earn you a stable position, because you need to know the art, and for that you need to practice, you need to learn. It's this. that is educates. Education, music also needs education, dance also needs education. You just cannot go do the random things that you see so many people doing online. They
Hmm.
make the profession look so easy, and that is actually kind of misguiding to a lot of youngsters. uh,
Right.
there are, there are contents which get viral, and if you really look into the matter, that why is it viral, it is not because of the quality. It is actually, maybe sometimes it is of poor quality, and that is what makes it go viral. I don't understand why people would share somebody singing a song totally out of tune. You're making fun of it, but finally what are you doing? You are making a thing go viral which doesn't deserve so much of attention. You need to pay
Yes.
attention to people who are practicing, who are trying hard, who are really putting in midnights, burning the midnight's oil, and they're putting all their efforts into some form of art, be it music, be it dance, be it whatever instruments, whatever. You need to pay attention to them. They are there. The content needs to go viral, not the content that just you think that's funny and that is why it is going viral. You're actually sending out a very, very wrong message.
Yeah.
People think that you can just sit with a keyboard and you sing whatever, you play whatever, and you have a chance of getting popular. Like,
But
why should it be that way? It's so,
now,
so
you're
unprofessional.
the best person to answer that, because you know the psychological aspect of it. Because there are certain virals. I mean, I don't want
Yeah,
to
I've
name
been
anyone.
saying, I know, even I'm not taking names, but I guess we all know by this time what to which ones we are referring to.
Yes. I mean,
I think
this completely surprises me. I mean, how on earth people can share those tracks?
I don't know, like what kind of attention they would want, what kind of pleasure they get. I'm still to know about it, but I think things which are very easy to carry
Hmm.
out, people maybe they promote it because it makes their work seem easy, because it makes their work easy. Because suppose someone sings a very simple song. I'm not going to name any song. I'm just saying, you sing a simple song which, suppose a population has 100 people, okay, in it, okay, and this
Hmm.
particular song can be attempted by 100 people, by all of them, okay.
Hmm.
They can, like, more or less they can like sing that song, like all of them. And you have a very difficult song which maybe one or only two people would even attempt out of those 100.
Hmm.
You will see this song which can be sung by 100 people go viral. Why? Because people have a niche for easy things, because they would not want to put in effort. Now if you think that this song is very it's a very nice song, why? Because everybody can sing it. Then why, if we take that same comparison to education, academic education I mean, then why wouldn't a class 2-year old be more celebrated than a PhD? Class 2
Good.
syllabus
Yes.
could be attempted by everyone, but not PhD. So then you should celebrate a child who's in class 2 and not someone who's done PhD. You see, it is actually drawing parallels to it. So you
Hmm.
would not honor the people who are working so hard, who are singing different difficult songs which cannot be attempted by everybody. Why wouldn't you honor them? Because they have worked so much, they have put in so much of effort to master something which cannot be mastered by all, like PhD.
Hmm.
So you are giving the honor to a PhD person, and you're not drawing parallels of that PhD person with a class 2 child. Then why are you doing the same with music?
I guess this is
Of
a classic
course,
comparison of that, the class and mass, which probably would continue to be there.
yeah, but actually, academics, the mass wouldn't do such an error.
Uh-huh.
But in case of fine arts, the mass does this error. So that's very sad.
All right. So we will now slowly move on to your next avatar as filmmaker. But before that, I will quickly play an AV, which is in English. A wrong career decision could be extremely expensive. A student must seek professional advice before selecting a stream, choosing subjects, and deciding on a career option or higher studies. India Educates has a pool of certified counselors and various psychometric assessment tools to assist students to take informed decisions. Don't miss out this opportunity. We also assist students to take admissions in leading international schools and universities of India and abroad. We provide counseling services for inattentive students too. Book your appointment for online counseling through our contact details. Okay, so let us now talk about your avatar as filmmaker. But before I start doing that, let me congratulate you for your recently released short film, Saza.
Thank you
I
so much.
watched it, loved it, and it's on the YouTube. It's on, I guess, KSS, the original YouTube
KSS
channel.
Originals. Yes, you can just type SAZAA, Saza, and you can
Right.
see the short film. The full short film is available on YouTube, and it's in Hindi, so it's a national content. So I guess more and more people can watch it. It's not in a regional language.
Yes, but it's based on a Bengali work that is
Yeah, yeah.
Shasti.
It's based on a short story by Rabindranath Tagore Shasti, but it's adapted to the contemporary times. The story has been adapted
Yes, I
100%.
loved it. It's wonderful.
Thank you
So
so much. Thank you so much.
your last feature film was Bhakshish.
Yeah.
Now, what's the next? When is the next one coming up?
That's the producer's call. So that depends on the producer. So fingers crossed. I'm
I
really working towards it, but I don't know when it will work out. Given the
Mhm.
tough times, it's really difficult getting a financer or a producer for your film. So let's see.
Right. I don't know how it is looking on the screen, but here I guess I'm going to have some difficult time with my light. It's
Yeah,
going
it
to
seems so because yeah, your light is
blinking. Yeah,
malfunctioning. So I guess yeah.
yeah. So okay, let me just
It
try
actually,
with
I think it actually matches the topic films. So it's looking quite filmy, with a strobe effect.
all right. So what is the future of commercial Bangla cinema? How does South Indian cinemas do so well in spite of being a regional film industry?
Uh, that'll be quite a blatant answer from my end. Uh, I don't know how many people would be ready for it. There was this discussion few years back, which I was having with a celebrated filmmaker. It was a popular panel discussion. So I will not be taking names again. So they had asked me the same question that what is the future of Bengali commercial cinema? So Hindi commercial cinema, the ones in Tamil, South Indian films, the commercial films they do so well. Then why not Bengali films? I mean Bengali commercial films. My answer was that whatever the content is, I think the South Indian film industry, the Bollywood film industry, they are very professional. Even if the content is not very good, their effort is really, really good, which is put into even making trash topics, even making trash films. The effort they put into it is really good. But for Bengali commercial films, they have good content, but they do not put in much effort. They are very lazy people. I'm sorry to say, but I started on the discussion saying that I don't know how blatant people may find my answer, but having worked in this industry, the Bengali commercial film industry specifically, you have very, very lazy people out there. So even if they have very good content, they are too lazy to put it across in a nice way. So, but
Okay.
to the contrary, the Bollywood film industry, even the South Indian film industry, whatever trash content they have, they'll put in so much of effort. They'll make it look so nice. So definitely, whatever looks good, it will sell better, and so that is why they have takers. We do not.
Now, is it that they have now whether because
You'll be
of the whole
amazed to
quality
know.
they are having?
I'll just break in between. I'll just say one thing because so that it doesn't slip my mind. That is, you'll be amazed to know how many Bengali technicians work in the Bollywood film industry. So many of them, they work
Hmm.
there. So
Hmm.
it's basically not a problem with Bengalis, but it's maybe a problem with the kind of industry we are in Bengal.
Hmm.
I've also worked with Oriya film industry. So the technicians there, they are so devoted, they are so serious about their work. But
Hmm.
over here, they are so laid back. My goodness, it's so difficult to make them work. And I faced the wrath of it because I have worked as an independent filmmaker in my first film.
Hmm.
You see the worst side of technicians, believe me, when you are an independent filmmaker, because you do not have the backing of a big producer. You're working day in day out. You're working your like lungs out almost, putting in your effort, and you have so laid back people around.
So, quick three
So
suggestions to Bengali film industry.
wake up. It's two words. Wake up.
That's about it.
That's about it. Yes.
All right. So,
There, there are very nice people who have wonderful concepts, who have wonderful scripts, who write wonderfully. But just because of the laziness of the core team, just because of the laziness of the core team, very
okay.
nice products just are so ill administered, ill produced, just because of the laid back nature of the crew members. I'm sorry to say, but that's the truth.
Okay. So the reality is like mind frame now. Not much of light there.
Could you please come again? Your voice broke.
I
Yes,
said the hard reality of Bengali cinema at the moment is like my
that
frame now. There is very less light. All
but
right.
that's with the commercial films. But when we are talking about parallel films, yes,
Mhm.
there are many makers who are working with. I was this kind of the kind of feedback that I gave was limited to commercial films. But when we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
talking about parallel films in this film industry,
Absolutely.
definitely there are
Fantastic work.
fantastic work is being done. I was talking about the mainstream
I
commercial
completely
movies.
get your point. I completely get your point. Okay. So now, since you are this multi-talented woman, so uh, this question is again, we go back to our main topic, that is how to balance career and passion. Now, if someone wants to, let's say, chase his or her passions and club them with his or her career, now there comes one very important question. Are people in general ready to accept the idea of an individual succeeding in multiple careers?
They are not. People find it very difficult to manage multiple like people working with multiple professions. Multiple identity is still an area of concern in our society. So if you are
Mhm.
working with more than one disciplines, and specifically if the disciplines are not really related to each other,
Mhm.
it can get problematic because people will select any one of the three or four that you are into. They'll just pick
Mhm.
one and they'll prefer to call you a person who's working with that discipline. Like for my case, there are some people who would just stick to Maahirii Bose psychologist. That's it.
Mhm. Mhm.
For some people, I'm just a singer. or a music maker,
Mhm.
and for some, I'm just a filmmaker. So there are hardly people, like very few maybe, who know me personally. I'm keeping them separate. People who know me personally, I'm not taking them into count. I'm talking about the mass, the people at large. There are very few people who would accept all the three identities. They're very poor in handling identities. So you really need to be very, very careful.
Mhm.
You need to constantly work in the three fields at a time for that
Okay.
maintenance. Yeah.
All right. So now let's get into a quick rapid fire round. So don't get
Okay.
scared. I'm going to ask
No.
decent questions.
You must have realized that I'm quite honest with my answers. So
You are
I'm
absolutely
not a
right.
very diplomatic person, you know. I'm not a very diplomatic person, and I actually speak my mind out.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, yes, my father says a very interesting thing. He says that it actually requires intelligence to be honest. So it doesn't require intelligence to lie, it requires
Hmm.
intelligence to be honest. And I really take that to heart.
Okay.
So you need to have the right kind of gesture, you need to have the right kind of approach to put across the truth. You do
Hmm.
not need to really work your brains for telling the lie. It is actually a much more tough job when you're saying the truth and that you do not offend anyone. So I don't know if I've done that, but my honest effort was not to. So yes,
You
I'm
you
ready
have
for your
been
rapid
you
fire.
have been fantastic. Okay.
Thank you
Now
so
now
much.
let's start our rapid fire round. So
Yeah.
my first questions. Your quick three suggestions to students to cope with peer pressure.
To cope with what?
Peer
Cope with
pressure.
peer
Peer pressure.
pressure. Uh, one suggestion or three suggestions? I
Three,
didn't
three,
follow.
three. Yeah,
Three
three.
suggestions. Okay. Uh, Take the peer pressure in a positive light so that it helps
Mhm.
you develop. Okay. Secondly, do not let it hamper your spirit to put in your best effort. And
Mhm.
the third most important point is take yourself as the greatest peer so that the pressure is given by yourself.
Excellent. Your quick three suggestions to adults to cope with any form of change.
Uh, First, uh, be a bit adventurous because you never know what lies ahead of you. Maybe something that's way more better than what you can expect. So be open. Second, be ready also for something that may turn negative. So if you are ready for it, then the negativity may not hit you hard. And third is be at peace with yourself, because once you are at peace with yourself, I guess all the pressures can be handled very well.
Three quick suggestions how to handle stress.
uh, First is have a hobby.
Mhm.
Okay. So not all person, as when we started the discussion, I had said that not all of us are so lucky that we can take our passion to your profession. So but maintain your passion as a hobby so that you have a place where you can actually rejuvenate. So
Mhm.
that will help you get out of stress, number one. Number two, uh, talk about it, do not deny it. Talk about it. Talk about it to a friend if you feel, to your family. And I would suggest the best option is see a counselor. Just talk about it to someone who would not be biased, because the therapist, the counselor, they are trained not to be biased, and they are trained to pay their attention to you. So they are like all ears to you. So
Mhm.
talk it out. Do not deny it. Do not suppress it. And third is just concentrating on the positives of things. Like if you are worked up in a lot of stressful situations, sit down, take a white piece of paper, jot down the negatives, jot down the positives. you can actually do that. Okay, you can just jot down the negatives, jot down the positives. If you compare, and if you really put an effort to it, you will see that there are positives to every situation. Try to harness them, it will help you out.
Excellent. So, your concluding comment on the issue of how to balance career and passion.
uh, I would say, do not feel the pressure to balance career and passion. Just do what you feel like doing. Just do what makes you happy. Do what makes you comfortable. Do something that you would never regret doing, even if you have a lot of pressure in that kind of work. Okay. And to the parents, my advice would be that we should teach our children that it's okay to make mistakes, which is very important. Okay. And everybody cannot stand first in class. Everybody can pass, but everybody cannot rank first in class. And the school education is something that is a mixed bag. We need to know a lot of things. So someone who's a musician in the making, that person, you cannot expect the person to score the highest in chemistry. He has nothing to do with chemistry, and that really doesn't matter. So you really be on the lookout about your abilities, about the abilities of your child. Try to look out what he is comfortable doing, what he or she wants to do, what he or she is comfortable, what he or she is keen on taking up as a hobby. Keep a note of the hobbies of your children, because usually hobbies are some things where you do not feel the pressure to perform, and that is the place where you can actually identify what the flair of your child is. Because Einsteins do not need to know how to draw, and Pablo Picasso's do not need how to do a physics problem. So you need to identify who your child is. Is he a Pablo Picasso? Is he a Beethoven? Is he an Einstein? So you just need to do that and work accordingly.
Wonderful. I think there cannot be better suggestion than this. And I must thank Mahiri for your time. And before we let you go, let me uh, wish you a very happy Teachers' Day.
Thank you
It's
so
tomorrow.
much.
It's
I really
tomorrow.
love my students. Yes, tomorrow. I really love my students, and I would like to share it, Pratikda, that I have a beautiful bond with all my students, and I'm really, really lucky that for the past 12 years that I have been into teaching, 11 or 12 years that I've been into teaching, I have such wonderful students who, till date, keep in touch. They tell me about their successes, achievements, and I feel so, so proud of them. And that really makes me feel so happy. And actually, it makes me feel that I'm so content. Like, it's so, so pleasing to see your students grow. It's so reassuring that you can actually help a flower bloom. As I was saying the other day to you, that when we are having the offline Adda, I was saying this to you. It's so precious to see the flowers bloom, and I've been seeing this for the past 11 or 12 years, and it's absolutely wonderful when a student whom I used to teach 10 years ago gets back to you and says that, ma'am, I have done this and I've got this. And it feels so nice that they find out time to tell me about their achievements. They feel that it counts to tell me about their achievements. What more do I need? It makes my life worthwhile.
Wonderful. And well, today we were not ready for this fiasco, the uh, fiasco of the light. So,
Yeah.
but great that we could continue with our session, and to all the parents and the students, as they always say that either you win or you learn. So there is nothing called failure that way, right? So that's the
I think either
spirit.
you learn or you learn. It's not even winning. It's either you learn or you learn. It's always you're learning, and you're in a learning process.
True, 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 true. Absolutely. So great wisdom, and as I always say that in this channel, in this education adda, you will always have a lot to learn, a lot to explore and discover. So
It was a wonderful Adda session, Pratik. I really enjoyed myself, and such questions, I guess they were very, very important to be addressed. I put
mhm.
across what my views were, but I really, really look forward to seeing more people getting involved with India Educates, because you are bringing up such relevant questions which need to be answered. So I'm really happy to be a part of it.
I'm
It's an
so
absolute
so
honor.
honored. I feel so good about it that when your work is appreciated this way, and that's
I really
very
enjoyed a lot.
the very reason of having this program. So we need your support. We need support of the viewers. Let other people know about our program. Let them subscribe. We do not have so much money to sponsor or do paid promotion to make our channel popular. So a lot of people may not know about our efforts. So they will get to know only when you let them know about it, when you share our programs. So subscribe to our channel, let them know about it, and only then we would be able to continue doing program like this. So thank you so much, and once again, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers of every section of life. Life teaches us a lot, and thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.